So when we're singing, most melodies have a complementary connection between both. They usually start off with the mood of separation, and then they end with the mood of meeting, which is the mood is that, where's Krishna? He's nowhere, can't find him anywhere. But then chanting means to call out and pray for Krishna, please come, or let me be able to find you wherever you're hiding. That's kirtan. And then, as you continue in that mood, Krishna comes and he smiles, and then he runs and hides again, you can't find him. So the mood of kirtan is the mood of trying to meet Krishna in the holy name. So the whole mood is to chant in that mood of, my dear Lord, please appear. Or my dear Lord, please make it easy for me to find you. So if you keep that mood in kirtan, then you can understand what is kirtan. Because kirtan centers around these vipralamba bhav and sambhog. Vipralamba means the mood of separation, and sambhog means the mood of meeting Krishna. So kirtan is really calling out, where's Krishna? Where's Krishna? Not that I got Krishna. Sometimes people think, yeah, I got him. No. All you got is your false ego. That's what So you have to pray in that mood. So kirtan is also a prayer, praying that Krishna somehow becomes present before my mind, before my heart, before my eyes. Just a little understanding of kirtan so we don't think it's just some jumping. It's jumping too, because we're jumping thinking maybe he's up there. And we're going up, oh, he's not there. Maybe if I should come down, maybe he's down there. So when you go up, you go down. So, and he's not there either. I look on the sides. I know he's everywhere, but I can't find him. So dancing is an expression of joyfulness. It's even understood in a general sense that when you feel happy, you dance. But Prabhupada would also say, if you don't feel like dancing, dance and you'll feel happy. It works. People in the material world, they have to go to some liquor house or some carnival, they get a little intoxicated and then they can dance. But our intoxication is the holy name. So we get what we say, drunk on the holy name. Nityananda, if you pray to Lord Nityananda, he's always drunk on the holy name. He's a madman. And he wants to spread his madness. So when we are doing kirtan, we think, hey Nitai, give me a little bit of your madness so I can understand a little bit about this chanting. So we can enter into these moods of kirtan, and when you do, because kirtan is not just singing and dancing, it's trying to get into the mood of trying to find Krishna through the holy name. That's the mood. Okay. So we'll continue with our series of lectures on the 9 angas of bhakti. And this one is from the Canto 7, Chapter 5. This is continuation, Prahlad, the saintly son of Hiranyakashipu, verses 23 and 24. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Shri Parada Uvacha. No. Sri Parada Uvasha. You see how it's written there? Sri Parada. It doesn't say Palada, it says Parada. Why does it say that? Where's the Sanskrit scholars here? Who knows? Why it's not Pralada but Parada? Who knows? No Sanskrit scholars here? There must be one. There's one in every yatra. Huh? He's not here. Prahlada. Ah. So it's a matter of connecting the different words in a certain series. So when they're connected in a certain way, you may also pronounce the prime subject matter a little bit in line with the proper, what we say, literary expression, according to Sanskrit. Sri Parada Uvacha. Sri Parada Uvacha. Still got that L in there somewhere. Okay, Sravanam Kirtanam Vishnu. Sravanam Kirtanam Vishnu. Smaram Padasevanam. Smaram Padasevanam. Archanam Vandanam Dasyam. Archanam Vandanam Dasyam. Sakyam Atma Nivedanam. Sakyam Atma Nivedanam. Iti Pumsarpitam Vishnu. Iti Pumsarpitam Vishnu. Bhaktische Navalakshana. Bhaktische Navalakshana. Kriyate Bhagavandyada. Kriyate Bhagavandyada. Tanmanye Ditam Uttamam. Tanmanye Ditam Uttamam. This chant. Sri Prahlada Vacha. Shravanam Kirtanam Vishnu. Smaranam Padasevanam. Archanam Vandanam Dasyam. Sakyam Atma Nivedanam. Iti Pumsarpita Vishnu. Bhaktische Navalakshana. Kriyate Bhagavandyada. Tanmanye Nigamuttamam. Sri Prahlada Vacha. Shravanam Kirtanam Vishnu. Smaranam Padasevanam. Archanam Vandanam Dasyam. Sakyam Atma Nivedanam. Iti Pumsarpita Vishnu. Bhaktische Navalakshana. Kriyate Bhagavandyada. Tanmanye Nigamuttamam. Sri Prahlada Vacha. Shravanam Kirtanam Vishnu. Smaranam Padasevanam. Archanam Vandanam Dasyam. Sakyam Atma Nivedanam. Iti Pumsarpita Vishnu. Bhaktische Navalakshana. Kriyate Bhagavandyada. Tanmanye Nigamuttamam. Ladies. Sri Prahlada Vacha. Shravanam Kirtanam Vishnu. Smaranam Padasevanam. Archanam Vandanam Dasyam. Sakyam Atma Nivedanam. Iti Pumsarpita Vishnu. Bhaktische Shri Parada Uvacha. Prahlad Maharaj said, Shravanam, hearing, Kirtanam, chanting, Vishnu, of Lord Vishnu, not anyone else. Smarnam, remembering, Padasevanam, serving the feet, Archanam, offering worship, with Sada Sopachara, the 16 kinds of paraphernalia. The 16 kinds of paraphernalia. Vandanam, offering prayers. Dasyam, becoming the servant. Sakyam, becoming the best friend. Atmanivedanam, surrendering everything, whatever one has. Iti, thus, Pumsam Arpita, offered by the devotee. Vishnu, unto Lord Vishnu, not to anyone else. Bhakti, devotional service. Chet, if. Navalakshana, possessing 9 different processes. Kriyata, one should perform. Bhagavati, unto the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Adya, directly or completely. Tat, that. Manye, I consider. Aditam, learning. Uttamam, topmost. Translation. Prahlad Maharaj said, hearing and chanting about the transcendental holy name, form, qualities, paraphernalia, and pastimes, of Lord Vishnu, remembering them, serving the lotus feet of the Lord, offering the Lord respectful worship, with 16 types of paraphernalia, offering prayers to the Lord, becoming His servant, considering the Lord's one best friend, and surrendering everything unto Him. In other words, serving Him with body, mind, and words. These 9 processes are accepted as pure devotional service. One who has dedicated his life to the service of Krishna through these 9 methods should be understood to be the topmost learned person, for he has acquired complete knowledge. Very powerful statement. So simply by knowing and performing these 9 processes, there's no other knowledge to know. That means you know everything, and then that qualifies you to actually know Krishna and actually come to the point of pure devotional service. So we have done Shravana, hearing, Kirtanam, glorifying, chanting, Smarnam, the results of Shravanam and Kirtanam, remembering the Lord. Now we'll go on to the next one, Padasevanam. According to one's taste and strength, hearing, chanting, and remembering, the 3 we just mentioned, may be followed by Padasevanam. One obtains the perfection of remembering when one constantly thinks of the lotus feet of the Lord. Being intensely attached to thinking of the lotus feet is called Padasevanam. When one is particularly adhering to the process of Padasevanam, this process gradually includes other processes, such as seeing the form of the Lord, touching the Lord, circumambulating the form of the Lord in the temple, visiting such places as Jagannath Puri, Dwarka, and Mathura, to see the Lord's form, and bathing in the Ganga or Jamuna. Bathing in the Ganga and Jamuna and serving a pure Vaishnava are also known as Tidiya Upasanam. This is also called Padasevanam. The word Tidiya means in relationship with the Lord. service to the Vaishnavas. Tulsi, Ganga, Jamuna are included in Pada Sevanam. All of these processes of Pada Sevanam help one advance in spiritual life very quickly. Om Gyan Timidandasya Gana Jana Salakaya Chaksun Militam Yena Shri Gurave Namaha. Nama Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prestaya Bhutale Shrimakti Bhakti Vedanta Swami Iti Namine Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharye Nirvisesa Sunyavadi Pastyatya Desata Vancha Kalpa Tarubhescha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namah Shri Krishna Chaitanya Nanda Sri Advaita Gadadhara Asari Gaur Bhakti Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare Rama 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 Hare Gauda Premanande Hare 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 Bo. So, hearing about the Lord, glorifying the Lord, chanting, remembering, all of these make up the basic principles, whereas all of the other processes of bhakti, the other angas, the other 6 angas, have strength. Because without these first 3, especially the first 2, hearing and chanting, we can't really practice properly or correctly. This one is explained how serving Vaishnavas, serving Tulsi Maharani, worshipping the holy rivers such as Ganga and Jamuna are all part of the process of serving the lotus feet of the Lord. The lotus feet of the Lord indicates pure devotional service. So one who thinks about or meditates and performs activities in relationship to these activities, as mentioned here, is actually serving the lotus feet of the Lord. And that is the principle of pure devotional service. Because the Lord's lotus feet represent complete surrender and devotion. And so there is a variety of activities that fit into Pada Sevana. Going to holy places, such as going to Jagannath Puri or Mayapur, Vrindavan Dham, Hardwar, many of the places where the Lord has performed many of his principal pastimes. These are also known as Pada Sevanam. So it's recommended for those who are practicing Krishna consciousness to take time throughout the year, maybe at least once, to visit holy places. And Srila Prabhupada actually encouraged in a form of an instruction. It was more than an encouragement, it was an instruction. He said all the devotees in the ISKCON movement should every year go to Sridham Mayapur during the Gaur Purnima festival for at least 8 days. That's what he said. You can find it in the folio. So he knew that when we come to the holy places, these are the places that are saturated with the Shakti of the Lord's pastimes. And immediately you feel Krishna conscious. Simply by entering these holy places, your consciousness is uplifted. And of course, if you serve the holy places by engaging in practical activities in the holy places, you can taste the happiness of Krishna consciousness immediately. It's not a matter of who you are or what's your level of practice. The holy places are saturated with mercy. One time, one devotee was trying to find some fault with other devotees who were visiting Mayapur. He said, you know, some devotees, they come to Mayapur just to enjoy. And Prabhupada said, the Dham is for enjoyment. So that was the end of that. So yeah, what is that enjoyment? We connect with Krishna in these places where it's saturated with spiritual energy, like that. So that's one of the many, as is listed here, places to execute Padasevanam. Serving Vaishnavas. This is paramount in our Krishna conscious movement. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, when he spoke to Rupa Goswami at Prayag, for 10 days, he instructed him in the whole science of bhakti. And Rupa Goswami noted that and later wrote Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu, Ujjwal Nilamani, and many other books, also Nectar of Instructions, Upadeshamrita. And one part of that instructions, the Lord said that there are 5 very powerful forms of bhakti. And he listed them. Chanting the holy names of the Lord, serving Vaishnavas, associating with and serving Vaishnavas, worshipping the Lord in his deity form, Archa Vigraha, living in a holy place, and hearing the glories of Srimad Bhagavatam daily. So he said these 5 are so powerful that even a brand new devotee coming into Krishna consciousness can immediately experience transcendental ecstasy when they take part in these processes. It's that powerful. But then Mahaprabhu, in his own execution of devotional service, he put emphasis on 2. And that was chanting the holy name and serving the Vaishnavas. He made these prominent or paramount in his execution. Because throughout the scriptures it is emphasized that if you really want to get the mercy of the Lord, you have to serve those who are serving the Lord. This is the key to getting the Lord's mercy. Krishna says in the Adi Purana, it's written in the Adi Purana, Krishna says, "He who says he's my devotee is not my devotee. But he who says he's a devotee of my devotee is actually my devotee." So to become the devotee of Krishna's devotee is higher than actually becoming the servant of Krishna. There's a story in the Sri Sampradaya. I can't remember all of the details. It's a really nice story, which illustrates this, wherein, let me see if I can remember this. Maybe Radhi Sham can help me on this one. I'm sure you heard this one. It's in South India. I think it was where Shiva, not Vishnu Kanchi. What is the deity there? Varadaraj? No. Huh? Varadaraj. Yeah, Varadaraj. So Varadaraj had one personal servant who was serving him very nicely, and he would talk to Varadaraj, and Varadaraj would talk to him. He was that close to the Lord. So there was one personality who came, and he approached his servant of Varadaraj, and he said, "Can you ask Lord Varadaraj, when will I achieve moksha? When will I go back to Vaikuntha?" So the boy was very humble. He thought, all right. So he came and he took the opportunity, and he was standing in front of Varadaraj. Varadaraj says, "You want to ask me something?" He said, "Yes. There's this one very nice devotee. He has come to me in a very humble way, but he wants to know, when will he go back to Vaikuntha?" And the Lord said, "I'll tell you tomorrow." So he waited. The next day again, he's standing there. The Lord said, "What was that question you had?" "Oh, yes, this person, he wanted to know, when will he achieve moksha?" And Varadaraj said, "He will achieve in this life." Wow. This servant, he was amazed. And then the servant, who was very close to Varadaraj, was thinking, I should ask him the same question about me. So he took the opportunity. Maharaj said, you want to say something? Yes. Can you tell me, because you spoke about that other boy, I also would like to know, will I make it in this life? Will I go back to Godhead in this life? And Maharaj said, see you tomorrow. And then he took the opportunity after some time, and he again approached him the next day. And then Maharaj was looking at him, he said, for you, it will take many lives before you can go back. He was shocked. He's talking to the Lord. He has an intimate connection with the Lord. And this other boy, who doesn't, he said he would go back in this life. And he was shocked. So he said, he couldn't believe the answer. And then Maharaj understood his mind. He said, well, this other boy, he's serving you nicely, and therefore he is serving a Vaishnava. But you're serving me directly. Who are you serving? So he was shocked. So he left his service and went out. He found, I think it was, Mahapurna. And he starts serving Mahapurna, who was also a great devotee of Maharaj, just so he could get the mercy of the Lord. So this story illustrates, of course there are many examples within this same context, how it is important to serve Vaishnava. And sometimes the devotees think, yeah, I'll serve the spiritual master. He is the pure Vaishnava. But Prabhupada takes that principle and extends it and says, Gopi Bhartar Padekamalayur, Dasa Dasa Anudas, to become servant of the one who is servant of the Lord. And then Prabhupada takes it even further. He says 100 times removed. Which means the more you become servant, the more you become glorious in the eyes of the Lord. So serving Vaishnavas is, we might even say, as important as chanting the Hare Krishna Mahamantra, because those who actually serve Vaishnavas can actually chant the holy name in the real sense of the word. So this emphasis on Vaishnava Seva, and this is our mood, because Lord Chaitanya is also teaching that. Mahaprabhu, after he took Diksha, initiation from Ishwara Puri, he came back. He was changed. Before he was the arrogant scholar Nimai Pandit who was defeating everybody. Now he was this humble Vaishnava, and he started to serve the different devotees. He would take their clothes and wash them, fold them, bring it back to them after dry. He would bring them prasadam, and he would do a lot of services for the devotees. The devotees would be embarrassed, of course, but he was enthusiastic. He wanted to show, by example, that to serve the Vaishnavas is actually the desire of those who understand their best interest in life. And serving Vaishnavas, you might say, well, sometimes we might think, yeah, I'll serve Vaishnavas whenever the opportunity arises. No, doesn't work like that. You have to make plans to serve Vaishnavas. You have to be proactive in that. In other words, you have to think of ways how to serve the Vaishnavas. And Krishna will always give you so many ways that you can serve the Vaishnavas. So this serving of Vaishnavas, as is mentioned here, is serving directly the lotus feet of the Lord. It's one of the main angas of devotional service. And one who serves the Vaishnavas, as we see, becomes very dear to the Lord like that. Because the Lord, He doesn't require anything, but He loves His devotees, and says He loves His devotees even more than He loves Himself. when the story of Jai and Vijay in the spiritual world, in Vaikuntha, when the 4 Kumaras were traveling, they had gone to Vaikuntha, and they were going through the different places in Vaikuntha. They had gone through 6 gates. There's 7 gates for Vaikuntha. The last gate, you come into the palace of Lord Vishnu. So they got stopped at the last gate by these 2 gatekeepers, named Jai and Vijay. And they were really unhappy and also quite angry. Why are we being stopped from seeing Lord Vishnu? And there was some discussion which turned into a little bit of an argument. When the Lord realized there was some contention at his 7th gate, it says that he didn't even take help from Garuda. He simply came. He was so eager to get there. And he got there and he started to speak. And he was talking about the glories of the Vaishnavas. And he says, the Vaishnavas are so dear to me that I would even cut off my own arms, he said that, rather than to offend the Vaishnavas. They're more important than even my own transcendental body. The Lord made that point. And of course, apparently Jai and Vijay had committed some offense, but this was arranged by the Lord so the Lord could come to the material world and fight. There's many, many strong messages, spiritual messages in that particular Leela. But one of them was that the Vaishnavas are so dear to the Lord, and that the Lord says that they're even more dear than my own transcendental body. So to serve devotees is actually the essence of one's spiritual success, like that. And we should also learn how to serve the devotees. That's also a thing. Sometimes people think, well, yeah, I'll serve the devotees, but I'll do it my way. Whether they like it or not. It's not like that, of course. They don't think like that. But we have to know how, what is the best way to serve the devotees. Of course, the best way is Shravanam Kirtanam, to associate with and inspire devotees to hear and chant the glories of the Lord. That is the essence of Vaishnava association, which also is Vaishnava Seva, like that. So, serving the devotees of the Lord, one has to think how best to serve the devotees. It's like sometimes people assume, just like Prabhupada was there. It was breakfast time for Srila Prabhupada. So the devotees were in the kitchen preparing Srila Prabhupada's breakfast, which was very simple. There was just some, fried some chickpeas, but some fried cashews and ghee, and some fruit, and some maybe sandesh or rasgulla. And that was pretty much Prabhupada's breakfast. So some ladies from the outside, they happened to come into the kitchen, and they saw the devotees were preparing the breakfast. They said, well, we want to prepare Guru Maharaj's breakfast, Swamiji's breakfast. So they were really, like, we're going to do it. So the devotees stepped aside, and these ladies seemed to be really, fired up. So they came in, and they made this feast. Prabhupada's wondering, where's my breakfast, So after some time, they came in with this, small feast, you might say. And they came in, and they were so happy now that they had done something really, according to their own estimations, wonderful. They put it in the front of Prabhupada. Prabhupada's looking at it. He says, this is not breakfast, this is breakhead. So I think he took a few pieces of something and that was it. So although they wanted to do something nice for Prabhupada, they didn't understand. They didn't understand. So also serving the Vaishnavas means know how to do it in such a way. Just like, people will cook what they like and say, Swamiji, this is for you. And I'll say, I'm fasting today. You didn't know that, did you? So a lot of times, so they want to cook whatever they want to cook, and you're there, and that's it. So, but we have to know. That's why Prabhupada used to always say, try to understand and then serve in that way before you just do it the way you want to do it. But that's just to go deeper into this mood of Vaishnava Seva so we can understand how to perform it and not just to perform it like that. Of course, also worshipping Tulsi Devi. Tulsi is a resident of Vrindavan. And worshipping Ganga. How do we worship Ganga? We take Ganga water, and scoop it up in our hands. We chant prayers to Ganga, and we offer the water back. So we're giving Ganga her own water. But we say the prayer, so the prayer is the offering, not so much the water. So where does that apply in our own practice, in chanting the holy names? It's Krishna's name. We're offering Krishna his name, but it's his name. We're offering it to him, but it's him. But the mood of the chanting is really the offering, and not so much, of course the name is important, but the mood is what he's accepting, because it's his name anyway. So when we're chanting, we should also rethink, yes, I should chant in such a way that Krishna will be pleased to accept my offering of chanting. Like that. Okay, so we probably have some lingering questions from the first three angas, plus this one. We could speak a lot more, but every day we find there's hundreds of questions. Maybe there's only 95 today. So we can start with Radhisham Prabhu, and he's going to clarify my mistakes.
Hare Krishna. Thank you very much, Maharaj. Every day you are showering unlimited nectar through both your lectures and kirtans and dance. Thank you, and all of us are very enlivened by your divine presence. Haribo! I had a question, Maharaj. I was reading in one of the Prabhupada's pastimes. Prabhupada says that, treating God as your father, that is inferior, because then you become the object of attention, and the father has to take care of you, maintain you and all that. But taking God as your son means then God becomes object of attention, and then you can offer him your love and services and everything. But when we hear this, 90% of the people find this a bit difficult, because they find it more convenient to see Radha and Krishna are like your mother and father. You submit yourself to them. They are your protector, maintainer, and there's a master. Like that, they feel very easily that bhava comes in them. But when you tell them, consider Krishna as your son, it's like mind-boggling, it goes over their head. Yeah. So what would you say about that?
Well, I don't know if this is a good answer, but I would say, yes, mother and father, what can I do for you? So instead of approaching them for asking for something, the son or the daughter should also think how they can serve the parents. That would be proper. But Prabhupada, what Radhisham Prabhu said, Prabhupada has said that many times in the lecture, because the concept of approaching the Lord as Father means to get something, to ask something. Because the Father is the one that provides and the children are the ones that receive. But that's a little child. A grown-up child will think, how can I serve the Father? Or at least those who are grown up understanding that I should do something also for the Father. He's doing so much for me. So we can also, if they can't make that, mental adjustment of son, then they can at least say, what can I do for you, my dear Lord? Yeah. Is that all right?
Beautiful, Maharaj. It gives a great help. You just have given a paradigm or a vision how devotees can approach even while considering them to be parents. Very nice. And also, Maharaj, in our practice of spiritual life, people's mind is often preoccupied with services and duties and responsibilities and things to be done and everything. So the mood which you were talking about while calling out the holy name in Kirtan and approaching the Lord, so can you tell some baby steps to going from the preoccupied mind which is absorbed in either worldly or service-related thoughts, from that platform to calling out the Lord's name with the bhava, some few steps you can tell us.
We've been dealing with that question in different ways in the last few days. People are asking, my mind goes this way and that way. But I think the answer to that question is we have to understand our position. We're in this material world, and we're surrounded by danger at every moment. It's a very padam ya vipadam. It's a dangerous place, that we know. At least we've heard about it, and maybe we've also experienced it. And without the mercy of the Lord, what can we do? We can try to do something, but it's insignificant. So we know that calling out for the Lord means to receive His mercy. And by receiving His mercy, I can also do something nice to serve the Lord. So we're seeing our position as being, what we call a chanchala, flickering. We're subject to so many inebrities, so many difficulties, so many mistakes, so many unexpected events that could happen. Praying for the Lord, calling out for the Lord, means to receive not only His mercy, but in His mercy in the form of protecting us from all of these dangers, including the danger of being distracted by the external energy, Maya. So we have to understand our position. We are called Jiva. Jiva means small. Jiva means tiny. Jiva means easily overcome. Although by nature we're spiritual, but we are known as a marginal principle of the absolute truth. We're spiritual, but we're locked within the material energy, within this body, surrounded by the three modes of material energy. So we're like in jail. So we need, some pardon from that jail sentence. And that's to call out from the Lord means to really show you really want the Lord. Sometimes people, just like when we're singing this prayer every day to Srila Prabhupada, Ha ha Prabhu Koda Doya Deha Modi Padachaya. What does that mean? It means, my dear Srila Prabhupada, my dear Guru Maharaj, your mercy, you're merciful, but still I'm begging for it. I know you're merciful, but still I'm begging for it. Why? Because I want to show you that I really want it. So we have to show the Lord, although He knows we are small and easy to overcome, we have to show the Lord we want His mercy. So calling out for the Lord is the way to show it. Crying for the Lord, begging for the Lord. Seeing our situation in this material world as being what is called, as Prabhupada said, tottering. Chapala Sukala. Bhaja Hurain Mana Srinanda Nandana. Abhaya Chadana Bindure. Chapala Sukala. Like a leaf, a drop on a lotus leaf. This life is so fast. And the way we live in this material, developed Western combination Vedic civilization, combination, is that, things are very unpredictable. Prabhupada was walking through one park, and he turned to his devotees. He said, at any moment, this whole place could be on fire, and everything could be dangerous. Well, the material world is like that. For example, earthquakes. I was sitting in my room. This was when I was in Croatia. This was in the year 2000. No, what was it? The year 2019, I think it was. And all of a sudden, I was chanting japa, and the whole room started to shake, and I thought, wow, ecstasy. I finally got it, I'm chanting japa, and I got to the... But then I saw pictures were falling off the walls, and some of the columns was cracking. Then I realized, hey, there's an earthquake. So I got out of there fast. Anyway, we made it out. But the story was later that 8 people died from that earthquake in the same area where I was, because buildings were falling off and they were landing on people, and people were dying because of that. So a person's walking along, everything is normal, and then boom. So this is the material world. It's what is called precarious. We can't really say everything's going to be nice. It's just the way this material world is. So knowing our tottering position, our dependent position, we want to show the Lord we need His mercy. So calling out is the way to show the Lord, I need your mercy. I'm suffering. My main suffering is because I think I'm okay without you. That's my problem. Is that all right? Yeah.
So Maharaj, one is the fear of the dangers all around us, and another one is the temporary nature of the material world, temporary nature of the material world. And also you said about Lord is the protector, maintainer, and is like supplier of everything. So in one of the lectures, Prabhupada says that the Vrijavasis, they didn't love Krishna because Krishna is supplying them their needs, nor did Vrijavasis run to Krishna out of fear that there is a danger around them.
Right.
They feared that, if this danger engulfs me, who will be there to protect Krishna? Who will take care of Krishna? So I have to be alive so that I will be there to take care of Krishna. So Prabhupada says that the love of the Vrijavasis was not dependent on Lord being a supplier of goods, right, or Lord being a protector of dangers, or Lord... so that was a spontaneous love he talks about, raga.
They were feeling that Krishna is in danger, right?
Yeah, Krishna is in danger. I have to protect him. If I die, then who will take care of him?
Right. That's Krishna's mercy. He lets you become his protector.
That kind of raga bhakti, which is of spontaneous love, that goes beyond, I think, Vaidhi, I believe. Correct, Maharaj?
Yeah, when Krishna walks on the ground of Vrindavan, the gopis cry. Oh, his feet are being pricked by all of these rough stones and, thorns, and they cry. They want to do something to relieve Krishna's suffering. Yeah, that's love. But, serving the deity is also like that. We should also think, well, the deity he's there, and he's dependent on us. So we have to protect him from outside, dangers. Some crazy guy might come into the temple. That's happened a lot in the West. Or, somehow it's cold. So we have to make sure he's not cold, or if it's too hot, we have to do something. or make sure he eats on time, or else if he doesn't eat on time, he might feel hungry, and then if he feels hungry, he might get sick. So this is how a devotee thinks like that. So deity worship is also in the mood of being Krishna is dependent on his devotee. That's extra special mercy, where he takes the subordinate position and depends on his devotee to take care of him. Yeah, thank you. Okay, yes. Where's our microphone? Okay, you can come. You can wake up now.
HareKrishna Maharaj. HareKrishna Maharaj. I had a question on Kirtanam Lim. 2 days back we had heard from you. So you said fourth Namaparad is like if we offend any, if we blaspheme any scriptures, then like other scriptures where it is mentioned other demigods are superior, then it is fourth offense. But in the other scriptures like Shiva Purana and all, where other demigods are like made glorified above Lord Vishnu, that itself is the first, second name offense. Namaparad.
That is the first or second?
Second, considering demigods to be equal or independent of holy name of Lord Vishnu.
No, it's not doing that. It's giving them that. It's understood in relationship to the process that not everyone can take to worshiping the Supreme Lord, personality of Godhead. So Shiva, Agni, sometimes Brahma is giving prominence. Even in the second canto, you'll see Narada Muni is asking Brahma, you know, you're such a great person, you've done so much creation. So he's just wanted to show that, and then Brahma comes out and explains, well, not me, it's Narayan, I'm just getting my... So what you're saying is that other scriptures are putting these other deities on the same level as Vishnu, and that's the second offense to the holy name. No, that's only if you consider that. For these other people, no, they don't do that. They think that they're worshiping the topmost, and because if they worship in that way, those deities will bring them to the next stage. It's a gradual elevation of consciousness in the mood of worship, because they can't follow the process of pure devotional service. It's too difficult because of their, what we might say, their material situation. Kirata Hunam Palinda Pukasa, we have all of these different personalities who may gradually elevate themselves through worship. Like even some of us who came to Krishna consciousness were followers of Shiva. I used to, when I first joined the Hare Krishna movement, I used to carry a button of Lord Shiva on my bead bag. Because I liked Lord Shiva a lot. So I didn't even give up my attachment to Lord Shiva after I came to Hare Krishna. And I've met others who also were chanting Om Namo Shivaya. And then after some time, they started to gravitate towards Krishna worship because they pleased Lord Shiva, and Lord Shiva somehow or other showed them through their own worship of him that actually, if you want to go higher or go to the real state of, you know, worship, then you have to go to Vishnu, Krishna. So I don't think the other scriptures are violating the second. Maybe Radhesham can fill in a little bit on that one. What do you think?
Hare Krishna. Actually, my understanding, Maharaj, is Lord Krishna has many manifestations. In one lecture, Prabhupada says, Krishna is like a 10,000 watt bulb, and Lord Shiva is like a 9,000 watt, and like Vishnu. And Shiva is like 8,000 watt, and Brahma is like 5,000 watt, and Indra is like 1,000 watt, and then his other demigods are like 500 watt, and Jiva is like, ordinary Jivas are like 50 watt. Yeah? Like that Prabhupada says, different potencies are manifested in different personalities. And like for example, for performing those activities involving Tamoguna, immediately Lord Krishna calls for Shiva. For example, when Putana's poison, when he has to drink, that poison was drunk by Shiva and milk was drunk by Krishna. Like that the Acharyas say that. Similarly in Halahal, when it came in the ocean, Shiva was called for attending to that. So therefore Lord Shiva is a great potency, one of the powers of Lord Krishna's manifestation. He manifests to perform a certain type of duty. In the 7th canto of Srimad Bhagavatam, when Brahma was glorified by Hiranyakashipu, almost like in par with the Supreme Lord, that Prabhupada says the three Murtis, Brahma, Vishnu, Mahesh, when they are glorified as Supreme, we should know that the Supreme Lord manifesting through them the creation, maintenance, annihilation, that is what is being glorified. Just like sometimes the ambassador of a country goes to another country, he is respected like a prime minister.
So they're actually worshipping the Supreme by worshipping through the external manifestations of the Supreme, these other devas.
Yes,
That's Krishna says that in the Bhagavad Gita. Actually, worship of the demigods, you should know that actually everything the demigods do is coming from me anyway. Yeah.
The relative understanding is very easy because Tamaguna, Rajaguna, Sattva-guna worship, if we take, the whole world knows that Sattva is superior.
Sattva.
Yeah, the deity of Tamaguna is Shiva, the deity of Rajaguna is Brahma, the deity of Sattva is either Lakshminarayan, Sitaram, Radhakrishna. And the worship is superior, it's understandable. Therefore, because Shiva plays a particular role, those who are reading the Tamasika Puranas,
Right.
they will consider Shiva as the ultimate and there's no one beyond him.
Right. Yeah. So it's just allowing people in different levels of understanding to worship, keeping them in the house of Veda, and then elevating them through these other deities. That's all. There was many questions, yes?
Hare Krishna, Maharaj. So Maharaj, yesterday we were discussing about remembrance. Yesterday we were discussing about remembrance, and one devotee asked the question that demons also remember, like Kamsa and all. The example was given.
Demons also do what?
They also remember the Lord. Like Kamsa was in
Yeah,
always
Kamsa
remember.
was, yeah.
Yes. So there we discussed that you mentioned that remembrance does not give bhakti to anyone. And then
They don't get bhakti, but they get mukti.
mukti, yes.
If they're killed by Krishna.
Yes, yes. Then I guess you quoted the example of Aghasura, that Aghasura got Sarupya Mukti and he got the same body and he was in Vaikuntha. So Maharaj, my doubt is
That was special. Because when Krishna entered his mouth, just before he died, he saw the form of Krishna. And that's the last thing he saw, was Krishna's form, and then he lost his life. So he attained Sarup Mukti. That's mentioned. Most demons get Sahuja Mukti, but he got special Mukti, Sarup Mukti, which even Vaishnavas get that also. So that was special.
so Aghasura.
That shows you how merciful Krishna is.
So okay, in that Sarup Mukti, then Aghasura got bhakti at the end.
Well, it's a form of liberation. If he's elevated to that position, he can move forward into bhakti, but he's not on bhakti yet. It doesn't mean he attained bhakti. It means he attained a type of liberation where he has the same form of the Lord. But in that realm of existence, he could also move forward and also take up bhakti. Or he could fall back down again. That depends on the mercy he receives. Yeah, so he can go either way. Demons don't have bhakti, but sometimes they're fortunate, just like Putana says that she got liberation almost on the same level as Mother Yasoda, because she played the role of Krishna's mother. And Krishna saw her like that. When he took out the poison from her body, then she became, purified, because the rest of her had come in contact with Krishna directly, and therefore she was purified. But doesn't mean she got bhakti.
So Maharaj, my doubt was that only in that Sarupya Mukti, whoever get that mukti, that living entity, what it does there? Does it have any devotion?
I don't
for
know.
Lord
It
Vishnu?
doesn't. It's one of the forms of mukti. There, Sarupa, Saha, Salokya, Samipya, Samarpya. What's the other one? Salokya, Samipa, Sarsti. So they may also go to a planet somewhere in the material world and associate with Krishna, or also have the same form as Krishna. I mean, even when Krishna was personally present, they couldn't tell the difference between, who was it, Krishna and Uddhava? They looked the same. Yeah. But Uddhava was a pure devotee, of course. And if you ask a mother about her child, she'll say he looks like Krishna anyway. That's love. That's another form of understanding. What they do when they get there, I don't know. I don't know if it mentions anywhere in the Shastras what they do. But they can still move up or they can go down. Because any kind of liberation has a time element attached to it. And when the time, they take advantage of the time element and they can go higher. Otherwise, aruna krishchena padam padanti yada, they fall down back to the material world. Why? Because there's no devotion. Unless there's devotional service, you'll have to come down from wherever you are, no matter how high you elevate oneself in the material world, even up to Brahmaloka. Anything else?
Hare Krishna Maharaj ji.
Where are you? Oh, okay.
Hare,
If you stand up, then you'll block the sky. Okay. Okay.
Hare Krishna Maharaj ji. While serving continuously, there is no you're not able to feel the discrimination between the work and the service. It seems like work only means karna is complete.
We can't feel the discrimination between.
Work and service means normal work, normal material work, and the service given to us.
In some cases, not all cases, it looks the same, but it's the consciousness that's different.
So how do we maintain this consciousness?
The consciousness, it's if you're doing it under the three modes of material nature, you're looking for some personal gain. That's Maya, that's material. If you're doing it as a service to the Lord, that's transcendental, that's bhakti. Although, just like there are people who cook. So, we have our temple, we're cooking, and just go a little bit over there, some people have houses, they're cooking also. So, cooking's the same, but we're cooking for Krishna, they're cooking for themselves. That's the difference. One is for one's material, one's spiritual.
Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, here he is. Shastra.
Hare Krishna. Maharaj, as we know, Brahmadev is the main Acharya of Brahma Madhav Gauriya Sampradaya, as the name suggests. So why did he get confused and kidnap the friends of Lord and their cows? Because he only gave the transcendental knowledge to our former Acharyas. So how did he got himself confused that Krishna is the Supreme Personality of Godhead, being at the topmost spiritual understanding?
Well, if you talk to the Mudvites, they'll say it didn't happen. But it's mentioned. I mean, even Balaram, when he saw what was going on, he couldn't figure it out. Krishna can bewilder anyone. And Balaram, when he was seeing the whole situation change, he was thinking, is there some yogini that's entered here and she's performing some mystic yoga? Finally, he figured it out. So his mystic power is supreme. So when he tried to perform that activity, he was testing what happened after Krishna had killed Aghasura. All the demigods had a big party in the heaven. And Brahma wasn't there. He just looked out his door and saw there was some festival going on. And then he realized they were honoring this little cowherd boy. So he came to see. And for some reason, he didn't recognize that cowherd boy as his worshipful Lord. Now it says that somehow or other he wasn't able to recognize. And then he wanted the test to see who that cowherd boy was. And as soon as he did that, Krishna put him into this illusion, thinking that he could, fool Krishna. So yeah, the Supreme Lord is so powerful that he can bewilder anyone. Even Balaram, at least temporarily. So for Brahma has a position, and Brahma has a tendency to become proud because he's so powerful. When you're very powerful and influential, watch out for pride. So that pride was somewhat of a block. He could not understand that personality who was there in front of him, sitting on the bank with his friends, sharing lunch together. Couldn't see that as the Supreme Lord. So he wanted a test, because all the demigods had honored that person for killing the demon. So he wanted to see who is that person. So his pride was there. But it said that when he tried, he had a wake-up call. that same person is my worshipful Lord. And then when Krishna expanded himself into all of the cowherd boys into Vishnu forms, he really got bewildered. All the cowherd boys became Krishna, and then Krishna showed Brahma all of the Vishnu forms through those cowherd boys, who were actually him. Mm-hmm. Prabhupada said, Krishna can do anything. And we can't even conceive of the things that he can do. What to speak of, trying to figure it out. It's not possible. He's so great that, it's not possible. He's so great, he doesn't even know how great he is. That's one of the qualities of Krishna. He doesn't know. He's walking along in Dwarka. He's walking in one of the palaces of Dwarka. And he passes by this pillar. And the pillar has a reflecting surface. And then as he passes by, he goes back, he says, wow, who's that beautiful person? Then he realizes, well, that's me. And that's not pride. Don't think it's pride. So yeah, Krishna is so great, he even bewilders himself. If that makes sense, I don't know. So his greatness is inconceivable. If you don't accept that, then you can't understand the nature of God. One person tried to trick Prabhupada. These were intellectuals that came to meet Prabhupada in London. They were from a society. They were called the Mensa Society. Mensa. And Prabhupada's talking about the greatness of God. And so one gentleman from the group, I think he was the leader, he asked a question to Prabhupada. Can Krishna create a rock he can't lift? Think about that question. Can Krishna create a rock he can't lift? Now, if you say yes, that means you limit his lifting power. And if you say no, you limit his creating power. Don't try to fool the spiritual master. So Prabhupada said, yes, he can create a rock he can't lift, and then he'll lift it. So yeah, Krishna. So to bewilder Brahma, but it's interesting because the Madhvites, they don't accept that Leela. Although they also worship the Supreme Lord. They don't accept that Brahma can be bewildered. So that's one of the differences we have with them. If you don't think Brahma can be bewildered, then you should join the Madhvites. But we don't want you to leave, so stick around. So the Madhvites don't accept, what is that called? Brahma Mohan Leela. Yeah. Yeah. Don't try to test Krishna and see if he can bewilder you. He can do it. He can bewilder you so much you'll forget who you are. Question somewhere? Whoop. He's behind you there.
No, on.
Nice and loud and slow.
Prabhuji, as you are talking about moods, why is taking the Lord's name in getting different results? Like two characters are there in Ramayana, like Jatayu is taking at the last moment, Ram is getting Vishnu form, and it's in the similar Marich, he's taking Ram name but not getting that form. Why it is different moods taking different results?
Why did Jatayu get bhakti and return to the spiritual world, and why did Maricha not? Maricha was a demon. He was imitating the voice of the Lord. He wasn't actually calling out to the Lord. He wanted to trick Lakshman to think that Ram was in trouble. So when Ram killed him, it says he also called out the name of Ram, right? Yeah, so, but he used it against the Lord. Where Jataya was glorifying the Lord by sacrificing his life for the Lord. Completely different.
So at the time, what's feeling is more important for us.
What's most important? Just chant Hare Krishna. If you chant Hare Krishna, everything will be okay. And if you like Ram, then you the second part of the mantra is there.
Hare Krishna Maharaj.
Yes.
So
Stand up. You can stand up.
In the last of 10 offenses, we say it is also an offense to be inattentive while chanting.
Yes.
So my question is what kind of offense I'm making while chanting the holy name?
When you're inattentive,
Yes, because
you're
I'm not
calling the Lord, but you're not paying attention to the Lord. When you're chanting, you're calling. You're asking the Lord to please come, sit on my heart, sit on my tongue, be present. That's chanting. And then at the same time, you're diverting your attention away. So inattention is an offense, yeah.
So I could not control the mind the whole 16 down chanting, attentive while chanting. So like my question is like,
We all struggle with that. Mostly, probably every devotee in ISKCON struggles with the mind. But Prabhupada told us, don't worry about the mind, just try to hear, that's all. He said, forget about your mind. Just hear. If you focus on the hearing process and just whatever the mind brings up, you just ignore it, that's all. Just keep your attention on the sound vibration, that's all. The mind will say so many things or come up with so many ideas. Some of them seem important, others are just the flickering mind, that's all. It's just don't pay attention, that's all. You use that time for chanting, simply for chanting, nothing else. You can deal with all of these other thoughts and ideas and responsibilities after.
Hare Krishna Maharaj. Maharaj, my question is that how can we develop relationship with Krishna as a supreme friend?
How can we develop what?
Relationship with Krishna as a supreme friend. And how...
Supreme friend?
Prabhupada says that Krishna is our supreme friend.
Yeah.
How can we develop that relationship? And what should be our consciousness while dealing with Krishna as a supreme friend?
Well, it's interesting, because it's mentioned in the Shastras that the first 7 of the 9 angas can be practiced and developed in sadhana bhakti, vaidhi bhakti. But the last 2, becoming a friend and surrendering everything, is on raganuga bhakti, spontaneous devotional service. So rules and regulations of vaidhi bhakti, as it matures through the different stages, Adaustrata, Sadhusanga, Vajana Kriya, should and must come to the platform of spontaneous attractive for Krishna. And one of the moods of that attraction is friendship or Sakya Ras, like that. So these last 2 are more developed than the other 7 angas, which can be practiced on a simple platform of vaidhi bhakti.
Thank you, Maharaj.
Okay. There's one Mataji way in the back. Send the mic back. We'll give the ladies an opportunity.
Hare Krishna Maharaj. Thank you so much for your nectarian class. Please accept my most humble and respectful obeisances onto your lotus feet as servant of your servant. Maharaj, in today's class you mentioned that one of the 5 most powerful bhakti is visiting dhams. So my question is, in 9 stages of bhakti, namely Shraddha, Sadhu, Sang,
If you
Bhajan...
talk slow, I can understand what you're saying.
Okay. So Maharaj, in 5 important forms of bhakti, you said that one of the form is visiting dhams.
Is what?
Visiting dham.
Visiting holy places?
Yeah. So my question is, in 9 stages of bhakti, namely Shraddha...
So if you visit the temple, that's a holy place.
Yeah. So my question is, in 9 stages of bhakti, namely Shraddha, Sadhu, Sang, Bhajan, Kriya, Anartha, Nivritti, Nishtha, Ruchi, Asakti, Bhava, Prem, in which stage will dham, that is Vrindavan, or other dhams will manifest to us?
I didn't get the question, because you have to speak slow or else I can't understand it.
Okay, Maharaj.
It sounds like English, not
Okay.
combination of Hindi and English. If you don't speak slow, I can't understand the questions. That's the way I'm limited.
In 9 stages of bhakti, in which stage will dham, that is holy places, will manifest in our heart?
Maybe someone can tell me the question.
9 stages of devotional service. In which stage the dham will reveal us in the heart?
Will the dham reveal in the heart?
In which
Vrindavan Dham, you talking about?
Yes, Vrindavan dham.
Dham manifests in the heart.
Well, I can't give you. I don't think any acharya will say that on this stage. They'll say it's possible on certain stages. For instance, on Ashakti, which really is the beginning of spontaneous Raganuga Bhakti. It's also there on Bhava. You might say, just by the evaluation of the understanding, is that on Prema Bhakti, it would be fully manifested.
Okay, Maharaj. And Maharaj, in today's shloka, it is said that Shravanam Kirtanam Vishnu. So my question is that Maharaj is a great devotee. My question is, Prahlad Maharaj is a great devotee. So why did he choose Vishnu over Krishna?
Prahlada Maharaj is a pure devotee, so he is worshipping. Some places it says he was thinking of Krishna. Some places it says he was thinking of Vishnu. But the fact is, it doesn't really matter. He's thinking of the Supreme Personality of Godhead.
Okay, Maharaj, thank you.
Hare Krishna. Okay. These devotees will go on, until tonight, So if you see some reason, you can cut me off. Yeah. Okay.
Hare Krishna Maharaj.
Where are you? Okay.
Maharaj, you said that. Maharaj, you said that when the demons are killed by Krishna, they get mukti, not bhakti, but they may either get bhakti or they may again fall down to the material world. But there are places where Srila Prabhupada said that whenever Krishna desires to fight, he sends his devotee who already has bhakti to the material world and then he performs pastimes.
Not all the time. Some of the demons are real demons. Yada yada idharmasya. That was special Leela with Jai and Vijay. But when Krishna comes to the material world, Pavitranayam sadhunam vinasanaya chaduskritam. He comes to eliminate the demons. But that's a side thing. And he does that just for playing around. His main thing is, what is it? Yada yada dharmasya glanide bhavati bharata abhutanam adharmasya dyapa pravitranaya saranam vinasanaya chaduskatam dharma samstarpanartayam sambhavami yuge yuge. Is to give pleasure to his devotees, to uplift his devotees to a higher stage. That's his main reason for coming. Then killing demons is extra. It's like his hobby. Prabhupada says when he's killing demons, he's smiling. Only one demon that he wasn't smiling when he was killing, Kamsa. Because Kamsa caused so much trouble to so many living entities that Krishna was really angry at him. So when he was killing him, he was really angry. Krishna was really angry. Okay, so I think we can stop here because you have another program coming up soon.
Hare Krishna! Hare Krishna! So we have been really blessed that His Holiness Chandramauli Maharaj came all for so many days and he's still here for the next couple of days. I think, in fact, for a week or more. If some of the students are here, they can take the benefit of his Sangha more and more. And through this camp, actually Maharaj came because we requested Maharaj that we have some 500 to 600 devotees, students coming. Please bless us, and Maharaj very kindly agreed. And through his lectures on Shravanam, Maharaj gave very, very important sutras for us on the Kirtanam also, today also Maharaj spoke on the Kirtanam, how we should become prayerful and the Smaranam. These are very vital processes in our devotional activities. And in the evening also in the youth program, Maharaj spoke a very vital subject which is repeated in the books of Srila Prabhupada on the Varnashram. And he profusely has answered questions like an ocean of questions which all the devotees have with so much precision and realizations, Maharaj wisdom of 5 decades and more. So we are very, very blessed that Maharaj kindly graced our camp here, and we wish that Maharaj comes again and again and even blesses us in all our youth centers all across India. We will be supremely blessed. Especially this camp is like everyone coming together and getting in one shot Maharaj association and making oneself.
Coming again and again is just in this lifetime, not the next one.
And from those lectures to the Kirtans, Maharaj Guru Puja Kirtans have drowned us in the ecstasy of the holy name. Rivo! Devotees were at the height of their devotional service through those Kirtans. And Maharaj's age, he's timeless, he's ageless in his enthusiasm to do the Kirtans. We are really, we understand we are not the body after seeing Maharaj. So we are very blessed that Maharaj kindly graced us. Prabhuji, you would like to?
Hare Krishna, you may be aware that His Holiness Chandramauli Maharaj and His Holiness Ranath Maharaj, they both were very intimate friends, and in 1971, he joined a New Vrindavan community and they have served 1973. Yeah. But initiation happened in 73, I think.
Radha Swami came in 72, I came in 73.
Yes, and from 73 onwards, they have been serving in Radha Vrindavan Chandra, Vrindavan Nath, is it?
Yeah, Vrindavan Nath.
Vrindavan Nath and New Vrindavan community, both of them together. They were in the deity room, serving together and very close friends. And later on, Radha Swami started coming to India from 1986 onwards. So His Holiness Chandramauli Maharaj, I feel the greatest advantage we have is he is very extending himself, as you see. He travels around and we have been inviting him every year, and he can answer unlimited questions, and he also speaks very sweetly, and he is very friendly and jovial, and he makes everybody dance in the kirtan. You might have seen him in yatra. If any of you came for the yatra, he can make thousands of devotees dance in the kirtan, and he is very unassuming and extremely humble. His Holiness Ranath Maharaj has glorified him a lot. So I feel it's a great blessing to have him. One time when he came to Pune, for in those days only 3 days he could come in one particular year. And then we had fixed 4 programs every day, 4 to 5 programs. So he did all the programs, and the last day he was collapsing. So I asked Maharaj, we are very sorry. Is your health all right? Are you happy? I asked him. He said, I am blissfully frustrated. So I asked, what does it mean? He said, my soul is blissful, but my body is frustrated with pain. You have squeezed me out, he said. Another time when Maharaj came, I was not aware, but I arranged for accommodation outside the temple, thinking that our temple room is very simple, but if he'll be more happy outside. So while returning, I asked Maharaj, were you happy in that accommodation? It was much more comfortable. And then Maharaj said, why you didn't keep me in the temple? Why you sent me outside to another place to stay? I said, Maharaj, there are a lot of mosquitoes in the temple here. I wanted to see that you are saved from mosquitoes. He said, but when I stay outside, there are other mosquitoes which trouble me. He said, these mosquitoes are better.
It's better. These are devotee mosquitoes. These are non-devotee mosquitoes.
Chandramauli Swami Maharaj ki! Srila Prabhupada ki! Maharaj is here for a week more. If any of you are able to extend your stay in Pune, you are most welcome. He'll be also, 1 week he is staying in the temple, and then next week he is moving within Pune. He'll be going to various programs like Vishalnagar BCEC. He'll be going to Hinjawadi. There are going to be many grand programs in Kunjabihari temple also. So there are going to be many programs in different places. And I think our youth campus today is the concluding day, but you all are most welcome. This temple is like your home. You have abundant facility. There's no problem of prasadam or accommodation. You are welcome to stay as long as you wish. Okay? Thank you.
So you can also take benefit of the books as on the table, and Prabhu will give you the books. And also our camp will start at 11:10 a.m. in the respective venues. Thank you very much. Hare Krishna.
And if I say that this happened because of the Krishna's will, they'll say, you blindly follow Krishna only, you don't have to listen to anything else. And I say, I follow him. Sometimes they won't understand the things. How can I answer them? Like, how can I tackle these situations? So that's how I'm also doing this. Like, I'm also answering this. Like, what to say?
I wouldn't worry about it.
What?
I wouldn't worry about it. We usually try to speak to people who are a little interested. If they're not interested, then why waste time?
And how do we reach, like, we have to anyhow convince people. We have to anyhow convince them, like, Krishna is supreme, though.
If they want to hear, that's fine, then you can speak. But if they don't want to hear, then don't waste your time. Yeah, there's always people you can find that would like to hear. Don't worry about the people who don't want to hear, who are argumentative or resistant. Forget them. You just waste your time. That's all. Anything you say, they'll give